business manager. I am here today with my co-host Cody Anderson, and once again, this is Labor's Live.
Tony.
Hey, Cody. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. And welcome, folks. It is Friday. This week went real fast. I swear, it seemed like I was just here talking to you guys.
It did go fast.
It did. So welcome to the Labor's Live Show. I'm your host, Tony Staten, representing the Labor's District Council of Philadelphia and vicinity. And you are listening to us live on 900 WRD AM and 96.1 FM. Our call-in numbers are 215-634-8065. 1-866-361-0900, where we welcome you to join the conversation. You're watching us live on onWURD Live, WRD Live Facebook, and also on our Labor's Lecet page, Lecet, L-E-C-E-T, Philly 5 County, where we're sharing the feed. And, we're here today, folks. It's been a busy week as always, Cody. And I have a guest, of course, that's coming on today, and she's just family, so I'm so glad she's here. And, of course, it's Farida Boyer, licensed family and marital therapist, here with us today. Hello, Miss. How are you?
Hello. How are you? I haven't seen you all for some time now.
Yes,
I know.
I've seen you, Farida.
Oh, yeah, you saw me driving down the street the other day. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Farida, Cody sees everybody driving down the street, okay?
Yeah.
Cody sees everybody. So welcome. Yes, it's been a while, and I'm just so glad to have you. When we're on, of course, we talked about the mental health, and we value your professional opinion, your experience, your skill set, your knowledge, all of the above. So that's why we welcome and glad to have you here. And when we talked earlier, I said we're going to talk about, isolation, the pandemic, and what it's done to mental health, patients and those who maybe experience some mental health and don't even realize it, with the stress and anxiety that they're feeling for the past several months. And I wanted to touch on isolation. And before we talk about isolation, the pandemic, I want to talk about folks, Cody and Farida, the isolation as a Black and brown community when you talk about justice for all and you look at the Breonna Taylor's decision. When it makes you feel isolated as a community when it comes to your rights. As an individual, is the law on your side? Or are there two laws pertaining to Black and brown community? How unfair and unjust we all see this decision that came. And so I want to talk a little bit and talk about that today too, Cody. What are your thoughts on that, Cody, the Breonna Taylor decision?
I don't think that there is any kind of regard for Black lives. I don't, and certainly in certain areas of the country, they are less guarded than they are, or less pretentious than they are in northern cities. But I don't think there's any regard. I saw an article where Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal both said that this was not similar to the other killings because her boyfriend fired at the police, and that was supposedly the justification for them firing all those bullets in there. Well, I don't agree, but that's what they said. So I think it's just another in a series of things that have happened in our community.
Farida, what's your take on this decision?
I don't, and I'm just listening to what Cody said, and I'm just thinking, okay, if it was a gun in my house and someone comes into my house that I have no idea that they're coming in my house and I just hear a bunch of noise, that's the first thing I'll probably reach for.
That's right.
Exactly.
So, and although there's no justification, it's just like lies after lies. You don't know the truth. And who are you, who do we believe? Who do we believe? What do we do? It's been so much going on since the pandemic and the George Floyds and the protests. It's really becoming overwhelming. I was the other night, I mean, just after a day of work, and I'm like, well, let me turn on the TV. But I had to turn the television off because it's just too much. And I think you have to know when it's just too much and you can't handle it anymore. We see it. Go ahead.
Well,
No, that's right.
Donald Trump is enough within himself to get you frustrated. I've had to stop watching him because he lies so much and he's so ignorant and he's insightful. You know, I just can't, I turn it off.
Because it's just too much. One day I decided, I said, well, you know what? Let me just go ahead and listen to him because I want to know what he's actually talking about. And for 45 minutes straight, I listened. And after the 45 minutes, I was thinking, what did he just say?
He just beats his chest. He just likes the roar of the crowd, to hear himself talk, the cheering, and he keeps beating his chest. But nothing's really of substance is coming out. And when you talk about, you know, the police and the Breonna Taylor and picking up your registered weapon, you know, that you have, her boyfriend at the time, my theory is, or my thought process is, the police know that they're going to go in there and that people have the right to bear arms, right? So you don't take any of this into consideration. My thought is that you're just going in, shoot to kill. You're not going in to serve your warrant and handle. You're anticipating worst case scenario because, you know, if they're the professionals coming in armed, they have to expect that a licensed, you know, a person carrying a weapon can be on the other side of that door. And what is that scenario? Because the warrant, I think, was a search warrant. Was it for him? Because at the end of the day, they never even charged him with anything, right?
It was for her ex-boyfriend. This was about, I believe from what I heard, was something about her ex-boyfriend who was incarcerated at the time.
Exactly. So my point exactly is that they know they're going in already, you know, a hostile situation on their end because nobody in the household was expecting them. They don't know they're coming. So they're the professionals and you expect them to take all the precautions and the procedures because of their training to kind of handle things differently. And as a community, that's where you lose sight because one, they hadn't been charged for months. You understand? Because, and they only were charged because of the pressure coming from all sides, celebrities, people in the communities, worldwide. You know, that's when the pressure came. And then you don't have any charges that resulted in her death against any of the police officers. That's crazy.
Why the focus is now on the Attorney General, the black guy that they put out front to be able to, I don't know why they put him out front like that. I guess he had to, but.
He's running for governor.
What?
Yeah, I think he's trying to run for governor.
Wow.
Okay.
He's like in pictures with Mitch McConnell and.
Well, you know, he's married to Mitch McConnell's granddaughter.
Oh, okay. Okay, but I believe he's running for some type of office or trying to run for some type of office.
And this is probably the icing on the cake. You go do this press conference, you relate this bad news to the community of your so-called people, and you have a bigger chance of running for governor. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because that's all it is somebody had to deliver the bad news, so why not him, of all people, the color attorney general, right, of that state, so the one who's going to run for governor, you know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy how people can't see through the madness. I mean, people can see through it, and that's why the vote matters. That's why the votes and voices of people matter, and for people to think that their vote that doesn't matter is so crazy because of the ripple effect of our communities that are feeling, you know, those who don't vote, you know, those who claim they don't have a voice. You know, that's why you have 9, you know, swing states with the majority of Republicans in Senate because we don't vote. After November, you have small to fizzle turnouts in 2 years for Senate and things. You get what I'm saying? So they don't understand the ripple effect of it. And that's why it's so important to educate that not just on the presidential elections, but it's for the Senate and people running for, you got to understand how those elections, because a president can't do it by himself. He can't do it by himself. He can't run a country by himself. He needs the majority Senate to actually get his agenda across. So we got to learn how to stop that after, you know, and to make sure that we're voting too and coming out, you know, in masses when it comes to the Senate and the governors and things of that nature. We really have to start educating our people to put our best foot forward. What do y'all think?
I agree. You know, I think this is the most important election in my lifetime, certainly. And I think it's incumbent upon us to try and get as many people as possible so that we can defeat Trump so resoundingly that he can't challenge it. You know, that's, in my opinion, that's the goal.
And recently I heard that he said something like he wasn't going to leave office. Like, I've never even heard anything so ridiculous in my life. It really puts a lot of pressure, I think, on people because you don't know what this man is doing, what he's capable of doing, and even just hopefully, and God willing, Joe Biden wins, right? What does Donald Trump know about the United States that all of us don't know? Even if he doesn't win an office, I don't trust that he's not going to go tell other countries what we have here, and nobody else should trust that.
He probably has done that already.
Which is scary. That's scary.
Yeah, I'm quite sure with these deals with these other countries that, you know, he's so close to that, you know, and he's cut out all of our allies, that what he's done is, you know, who knows, he might want to Trump Towers in Russia. He might want to Trump Towers somewhere. Like, it's all about him and what he can get out of something to make him bigger, you know, and in the eyes better. But he has his loyal base folks that are ride or dies for him. Do you understand?
Yeah, you
in the name of white privilege, I'm going to tell you, because that's basically why a lot of people who, remember we talked about this, Cody, who they don't have, you know, some of these Caucasian folks don't have money in the stock exchange and things. They just your little, you know, regular old middle class, low income, but they want to keep their privilege going. Y'all got to recognize that, you know. They want to keep their privilege going. That's what's motivating their vote, and they love the, you know, what he speaks, what he represents in the name of white privilege. That's what they're voting for, a lot of them, because they don't gain anything with him being here either. If it's going to affect our middle class, it's going to affect their middle class. It's going to affect our low income people. It's going to affect theirs the same way.
But they've been programmed to believe that as long as it affects us, it's okay. Exactly. They're not even looking at how it affects them. And my question is, what does Donald Trump or Putin have on the other Republicans who are supporting everything Donald Trump does? There's got to be something.
It has to be. It has to be.
So I can't wait for the investigations to start. I hope once they get out of there that they hold these hearings to try to find out who was compromised, including Barr.
Right.
That's his lapdog. I'm sorry, but he is. That's his lapdog, because he does everything, and, you know, and he supports everything that Donald Trump says. So it's just horrible. It's just horrible. But they talk about Joe Biden. He's been in the Senate for 40 years, and what has he done? And he's just a white man that's been there. He hasn't helped us. Look at all the Republican senators that's been there. I mean, give me a break.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Who are they representing? Who do you think they're representing? But it takes so much to convince us just to, you know, use our right, use, you know, our weapon that we have, which is pulling the lever or pushing the button to vote. As long as they know that they can cast doubt in our communities, that things won't change and it won't get better, and look at your politicians, and yes, locally, you know, it's not an ideal situation. You know, we get that, you know, and we can work with them. But when you talk about, you know, outside, you know, getting things passed, you can't get anything done as long as you have people like Donald Trump and the majority of senators that look opposite of us. We're not going to get our agenda across whatsoever.
Right.
Whatsoever. And people have to realize that. So, yeah, we just had to touch base. I thought it was, you know, only right that we touch base and talk about that. You can say something, Cody?
Yeah, I want Farida to tell me how I can get through this pandemic.
Yeah.
What can I do? Tell me something new. I'm getting crazy.
You and everybody else. The thing, it's a lot of isolation.
Right.
What I realized is I actually came to the district council today, and I realized I haven't been here since February, and I would pop in periodically, just to stop by. But it has been difficult for everyone because even if you travel into Center City, it's not a lot of people, so you're not used to seeing all of those things. And I think that everyone has been impacted by it because it's not much you can do. It's not many places you can go because even if you do go outside, then you're in fear or at social gatherings, you're in fear of getting the coronavirus. We have no idea about what is going to happen with this coronavirus. And now the flu season is coming up, which makes it even worse. I went to see my primary care physician. I think it was last month, and she told me that she was going back to virtual visits because there was so many people coming with the virus that she felt like, because I just was going for a well check, and she said it wasn't necessary for me to come into the office for a well check. So she said she thought it would be better if people just, do everything virtually. So then I had asked her, was it going to get better? Did she think it was going to get better once we could get some type of vaccine? And what she said, and this was just so real to me, she was like, who's to say that's going to work? So then you're still, because now we're thinking, okay, well, maybe in a couple months when the vaccine comes out, we're over this. Or, we can have some type of remedy. But that, too, is going to take time. We may be in this thing for another year. So what do you do? Because now, and you don't know what the next couple of months are going to look like because of the flu season. So now you have to plan ahead. Let me make sure I have some things in my house, some water, some toilet paper, those things, those essential things. Let me get some things to do. Let me get a schedule, a plan of action, not just for myself, but for my children. It has been overwhelming for these children. So I used to be a teacher. I was a first grade teacher, and I cannot imagine having to teach my children from a computer screen. This is the other thing that my thoughts about this virtual schooling. I remember maybe last year for the district labor district health and safety fund, I did an event and we talked about different health things. One of the things we talked about was screen time. And this is from health.gov. The information I've got from health.gov said you should not have more than 2 hours of screen time a day. So if they're saying you should not, from the health department, this is the government's health department, saying that you should not have more than 2 hours of screen time, why are our children on a screen for 6 hours, 7 hours at a time?
A good question.
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
How is this going to impact them?
Then after that, 2 hours once they do their homework, they want to get back on their phones.
Exactly.
To socialize with their friends.
Exactly.
Because they can't go see them.
I'm wondering what are their eyes going to be like. So the other, Kamala Harris came to the city the other week, and I had the opportunity to meet with her. So anytime I meet with somebody, I always ask them their thoughts about mental health. So she told me about a book called The Deepest Well, and The Deepest Well talks about adverse childhood experiences. So adverse childhood experience is more about traumatic events that occur before the age of 18. This right here is a traumatic experience. Not being able to go to school every day because you're used to going to school every day. Now you're subjected to stay in the house most of the time. You don't know what's going. You don't know when you'll be able to go back to school to socialize. This is traumatic. It's traumatic for adults. Could you imagine what it's like for a 5 or 6 year old who has no idea about what's really going on?
Well, wait a minute. Hold that thought, because we got to take a short break for Rita. Cody, we're going to be right back with more Labors Live.
Okay.
Now, a traffic update on Word Radio.
Busy afternoon already on the Philly roads. This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Schuylkill Expressway westbound crawling from University to 30th Street. That through the construction. One lane is blocked. Only one lane is getting by. Further west on the Schuylkill, it jams the boulevard to Belmont. And then again from Belmont all the way out to 476. Eastbound Schuylkill jamming 202 to Gulf Mills. Again 476 to Gladwin. Jams City to the Vine Expressway. And then you're jammed Penrose into Front Street with construction in the left lane. Vine Expressway eastbound jams 76 across to 95. Westbound the Ben Franklin Parkway into the Schuylkill Expressway. 95 northbound, that is stop and go from Broad Street up to the Walt Whitman Bridge. Jams again Penn's Landing all the way up to Bridge Street. Southbound 95, jamming as well Cottman Avenue into Bridge Street through the construction. One lane is blocked. Boulevard northbound, that stop and go the Schuylkill Expressway into Broad Street. Blue Route northbound, that jams from 95 to Media Swarthmore. Southbound Blue Route jamming St. David's all the way down to 95. Tack on a half hour through that stretch. Bridges over the Delaware River look good. In South Jersey, stop and go 295 southbound Woodcrest Station into 42, and 42 southbound jamming up from the Walt Whitman Bridge into 295.
Right now at Wendy's, when you buy one breakfast fave, you can get another for just $1. It's an offer so good you'll want to tell your friends, and they'll tell their friends, and so on. Available for a limited time during breakfast hours only. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's.
For more traffic information, log on to SIGAlert.com. I'm Brendan Joseph with your Philadelphia area traffic.
The Murray Report, bringing you the latest in sports news and opinions. Hosted by Chris Murray. Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on onWURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on WordRadio.com and on the Word Radio app.
This is Council Member Alan Dom. We need every Philadelphian to be counted in the 2020 census to get the funding we need to recover from the challenges of COVID-19. The census brings funding to Philadelphia for education, healthcare, food support, public safety, and more. For every person who isn't counted, Philadelphia loses $21,000 in funds over the next decade. We can't let that happen. You have until September 30th to get counted. Go to www.2020census.gov or call 1-844-330-2020. Don't delay. Get counted, Philadelphia.
This is onWURD Radio, independent black media.
Recovery starts with a call. Pennsylvania's Substance Use Disorder Hotline is staffed by real people who are trained to help. They're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They'll get you or your loved one into treatment regardless of your access to insurance. If you or someone you know is suffering from addiction, call 1-800-662-HELP. Recovery starts with a call.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Hi, I'm Melanie DeBose. I'm a single mom and I run a nonprofit. I don't have a lot of free time, and the safety of my family and employees always comes first. That's why I'm voting by mail this year.
Whether you're a Pennsylvania senior, essential worker, or simply someone who needs more flexibility to vote within a challenging schedule, voting by mail allows you to make your voice heard at the ballot box on your schedule while protecting your family's health. You can turn your mailbox into a ballot box by simply visiting votespa.com on your computer or any mobile device to request your mail-in ballot. With November 3rd around the corner, it's more important than ever to request your mail-in ballot today.
This year, I'm voting by mail because it's safe and easy. Voting on my time while keeping my family and employees safe.
We're all in this together, and voting by mail gives you the power to make your voice heard. So sign up at votespa.com or return your mail-in ballot application to your county election office today. Paid for by Power Interfaith.
Hey love, Sincerely Sarita here with great news for your livelihood. If you're an entrepreneur, have a side hustle, or are interested in technology and how it impacts our community, you don't want to miss Chroma 2020, a virtual conference and community presented by Black and Brown founders. Registration options to Chroma range from 100% free to exclusive access. WURD Radio is a proud media partner for this event. Mark your calendars for the week of September 28th to October 2nd and meet us there. onWURD members have an exclusive offer. You get 50% off the 30-day replay. Check your email for the code. In the meantime, visit chroma2020.com to reserve your ticket or learn more today.
onWURD TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at onWURD. onWURD TV. Black Talk Media.
And you're back, Tony.
And welcome back to More Labors Live, where we have Farida Boyer, licensed family and marital therapist, and we're talking about, the pandemic and the effects of the isolation, effects when it comes not only to adults, but how it's impacting the children. You were talking about, the book the deepest well, and how, you know, the traumatic syndrome this is part of that they're going through in 2020, you know, the kids of a young age, and how to deal with this. This is trauma that they're going to really have to deal with for the rest of their lives.
Just to think about some of the things like that we experience as young adults that you may see today. Like you may have some symptoms of some type of traumatic experience that you've suffered from as a child, but it shows up today. So part of because I didn't even read the whole entire book. I actually just started reading it yesterday, and one of the book started out talking about a 46-year-old man. He is having a stroke, and this man was healthy. So his wife is explaining to the doctors, like, my husband is a healthy man. He plays basketball with the children. Like, he exercises. There's nothing wrong with him. But they didn't know about his trauma as a child, because that played a part, that stress growing up play a part of him having a stroke as an adult. So those are the things that we have to think about, the things that we are living through today and experiencing today. It just doesn't stop as you grow older. And a lot of times when I meet with people, because although I'm a marriage and family therapist, I don't just deal with married couples. Even when I'm talking to individuals, I look at everybody's history. Their family history. Tell me about your family. And you know what the sad part is? A lot of people don't know a lot about their family history. If I ask them things about their grandparents, things about their parents' childhood, a lot of people don't know. These are things that we should know because it impacts us as individuals. When you're trying to understand why your mother may be acting a certain way, and you need to try to understand, well, what was her relationship like? If your mother's treating you a certain way, you want to know, why is she treating me this way? I would then ask a question like, well, what was her relationship with her mother? So then when I finally find out, and I may even have the mother come in, because this type of relationship, like, I had a distant relationship with my mother, or my mother was, she was emotionally abusive. So that would explain why she could be emotionally abusive to you. So you have to know these things. But I'm saying all that to say, now we're stuck in the house most of the time. These children are being, they have nowhere to go. Even adults have nowhere to go. So you see more divorce. You see more domestic violence. You see more abuse. It's overwhelming. I have a friend who's a social worker. My best friend is a social worker. And sometimes I'm like, let's just go out for a walk, because the amount of things that she deals with related to abuse is overwhelming for anyone. It's just too much. It's too much. And this is what's happening. You don't know, and that's why I think we have to go back to, you know how everybody knew everybody on your block. You knew Mrs. Jones, and you knew Mr. Smith. Everybody knew everybody. Now we just go home. We don't know what's going on. Things are happening in people's houses, and there's nothing that we can do because we don't have those type of relationships anymore.
Exactly. People don't want to share with their family members. They don't want to share with their friends. And, you know, this is a time when you just have to find that safe, comfortable relationship with somebody and let people in. People are dealing with the stress of their jobs, being short-handed, trying to be there more, and at the same time taking care of their family, taking care of their elderly parents, that you have to watch who you're around, because then you have to go see your mother or father that you need to help to make sure they're taken care of, or if you can even see them, depending if they're in a nursing home or what underlying health issues that they have. That's why I said this isolation situation, the pandemic, is really wearing on people. Like the cup is about to tip over in a sense. And people need to know where to go for help, how to seek help. What are some of the signs, I mean, I'm talking about people too who might not ever had a history of mental health, but now they're seeing the weight, of life is really is taking a toll on them, and they don't know how to handle it because it's been 7 months of I can't go here. I don't normally have my support group that I go to in the sense that I hang out with every other week or once a month to let that out. I can't get to the gym. Whatever that looks like, you no longer have it. So you're forced to deal with your kids nonstop. I feel bad for my kids. They're 11 and 13, and I'm 14 now, and I'm trying to figure out, ways to keep them engaged, but they don't want to do stuff with me in the house and looking at me like, can't go outside. You can't trust a lot of situations. Nothing's open. Places that's open, you don't want to take them to in fear. So it's a lot to take in addition to staying on top of their school. You still have to approach that the same way. Imagine Farida and Cody, the kids that are in school online, learning, this new math and things that they have in place that we didn't touch on, and now you're forced to learn it. How do you say to your child, well, I don't know, that's not how we were taught? They're looking at you like, listen, you got to really find ways to engage with your kids when it comes to their homework if you don't have a clue. Maybe use words and terms like, listen, that is something that I didn't touch on when I was younger. It was different. So maybe we can learn together. Because what you don't want to say is you don't know, now they don't know. You know what I mean? So how are we going to know? Like, how are we going to resolve this?
But you know what? I would encourage you to just be honest with them. If you don't know, it's my niece was over my house like when all of this started. It wasn't too many places that she'd go. She was I think she's in the second. I think she just went to the third grade, so she might have been in the second grade at the time. So I'm talking to her about math. She had wanted this doll or something like that, and I'm talking to her about the doll. So I made it into a math problem, and the way that I'm explaining it to her is the way that I know how to do it. But that's not the way that she knew how to do it. And I told her, I said, well, I don't know how to do it your way. Show me how to do it your way. So maybe we can teach each other something. But it's okay not to know how to do it. And that's one thing that I encourage my clients now. It can become overwhelming with trying to work your 9-to-5 job and monitor your child or children to ensure that they're on the computer doing their assignments, then having to help them do the work that you may not even understand how to do. So it's okay not to know, and being okay with only doing what you can do. Because if not, you're going to be frustrated all across the board, and it's going to make it worse. So it's okay to tell a teacher, she didn't do this because we don't know how to do it. Now, if you want to offer some additional support, we're willing, wait, can you offer some resources? But it's okay to say, I don't know how to do it. It's okay.
There you go.
The other thing is, too, I know some of my clients have been asking, so I no longer see clients in my office. I'm only doing telehealth. And I know that, so even for me, so the first couple of months I was located in the basement seeing clients. So I've never stopped working since the pandemic. I just went to the basement and started using telehealth to see clients. But I got tired of being in the house. So I said, well, I'm paying for the office. Let me go back to the office. And now, like, the kids are popping on the screen and the parents are apologizing. But I'm saying, this is our new normal. I'm good. I speak to the parents. The children, now they're getting used to seeing me on the screen as well. Like, I'm being like, who's this lady? But now they're seeing me every week. So I'm becoming familiar to them as well. But it's just like we have to empathize with people. Like, this is just their situation, and we have to be more empathetic to everybody's situation because it's a difficult situation.
Well, that's true. Empathy goes a long way, and people have to, just be understanding. They have to realize that across the board, everybody's adjusting. Everybody's trying to figure this thing out, and projects might not be on time as you want, I know a lot of parents were complaining with the school district my girls go to because they were saying, how are you going to have them do assignments during class and then expect them to have, those assignments completed for all 5 or 6 subjects. So it's just a lot of stress, and everybody just have to learn to, like you said, have empathy for one another. You got to work together. like the professional for Rita Boyer said, don't lie to your kids. If you don't know it, tell them you don't know. We're going to learn together. Contact the teacher. Let's see what resources you have. Can you FaceTime me or Zoom me later on in the day before, what's a good day that we can kind of go through this, what are some of the links? Like, you got to work together. You got to take your time and don't get more frustrated because, this is new for everybody. This is new for everyone. And this thing they call isolation with the pandemic is real. Mm-hmm. And it's really nowhere comfortable to go.
The one thing that I do want to say is this too. I think that everybody should check in on their mental wellness. It's a difficult time for everybody. If you have a therapist, if you don't have a therapist, just do a check-in. See what's going on, how you feeling. You may not need weekly therapy. You may just need to, let me just talk it out for a minute to see what's going on with me. So I would say now is the time. I will say this, that we have been getting an overwhelming amount of phone calls. I've even hired new contractors to take on additional clients because my caseload has become full. So it definitely, people are reaching out for support, and not just for yourself. Make sure that your children have somebody to talk to. It's difficult for them to sit and talk to somebody for 50 minutes on the computer, but you might shorten the time and you meet the children where they are. But everybody needs to just do a check-in to see where they are mentally, because if you are not well mentally, everything that's in your being is not going to be well.
Everything that follows, you're right. So with that being said, and I know like you said, you're on the well, can you give your information out before we go to break?
Sure. You can find me at www.boyercounseling.org. You can call our office. It's 215-397-4429. Like I said, just be patient. We are overwhelmed with calls, but we will definitely call you back, assess what's going on for you, and make sure that you get the help that you need.
So are you taking any insurance?
I take Independence Blue Cross, Magellan, Allied Trade Assistance Program. That's part of the unions, and I take Aetna.
Okay, well, you've expanded that, huh?
Yes, I did.
That's very good. Very good.
Well, we're proud of you and keep up the good work.
And you take cash. Can I pay you virtually?
Whatever. I like that. Okay, sound effect. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We have Commissioner Omar Sabir waiting to talk about the importance of voting, but we appreciate you always calling in, giving your information, your professionalism is a value to our listeners, and we appreciate you so much, Rita Boyer, and thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you for having me. I just want to say one more thing.
Yes.
October is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, and I do still have the nonprofit, the Black Brain Campaign, where we will be offering service for free of cost or low cost to individuals who are in need of mental health treatment.
Well, thank you for that. And they can find that information where?
theblackbraincampaign.org. They can just shoot us an email and go to our website and click on the link, and we'll be able to assist them.
Very good. Thank you again for coming. We appreciate you.
Take care, Frida.
And we're going to take a break, folks, and come right back with Commissioner Omar Sabir. Thank you.
Now, a traffic update on Word Radio.
Busy afternoon already on the Philly roads. This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Schuylkill Expressway westbound crawling from University to 30th Street. That through the construction. One lane is blocked. Only one lane is getting by. Further west on the Schuylkill, it jams the boulevard to Belmont. And then again from Belmont all the way out to 476. Eastbound Schuylkill jamming 202 to Gulf Mills. Again 476 to Gladwin. Jams City to the Vine Expressway. And then you're jammed Penrose into Front Street with construction in the left lane. Vine Expressway eastbound jams 76 across to 95. Westbound the Ben Franklin Parkway into the Schuylkill Expressway. 95 northbound, that is stop and go from Broad Street up to the Walt Whitman Bridge. Jams again Penn's Landing all the way up to Bridge Street. Southbound 95, jamming as well Cottman Avenue into Bridge Street through the construction. One lane is blocked. Boulevard northbound, that stop and go the Schuylkill Expressway into Broad Street. Blue Route northbound, that jams from 95 to Media Swarthmore. Southbound Blue Route jamming St. David's all the way down to 95. Tack on a half hour through that stretch. Bridges over the Delaware River look good. In South Jersey, stop and go 295 southbound Woodcrest Station into 42, and 42 southbound jamming up from the Walt Whitman Bridge into 295.
Right now at Wendy's, when you buy one breakfast fave, you can get another for just $1. It's an offer so good you'll want to tell your friends, and they'll tell their friends, and so on. Available for a limited time during breakfast hours only. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's.
For more traffic information, log on to SIGAlert.com. I'm Brendan Joseph with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Good afternoon. My name is Samuel Staton Jr. I'm a Laborers International Union Vice President. I'm also the business manager of Laborers Local 332. I'm here to tell you why it's important for you to vote. Why? Because your vote puts protection on your prevailing wages. Why? Because your vote put protection on your health and welfare. Why? Because your vote put protection on your pension. Why? Because your vote put protection on your right to join a union and organize. Remember this, you are free to choose, but you are not free from your consequences of your choice. Please vote so that the great work of this great international union can continue to grow for generations to come. Thank you.
Don't forget to tune into Labor's Live every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. on onWURD, WURD.
Dietz & Watson has been making premium meats and artisan cheeses for over 80 years. And when it comes to stacking sandwiches and party platters, they've got something for everyone in the family, like maple honey turkey breast, American cheese, buffalo chicken, and more. So get to your local deli and taste 4 generations of family recipes. With Dietz & Watson on the table, you'll have everyone coming back for seconds and thirds. Dietz & Watson, it's a family thing since 1939.
The North Star Convention is a statewide event where concerned citizens, lawmakers, union, and community leaders are collectively working together to create an agenda that will address systemic issues in the black community throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Tuesday, September 29th, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., Darisha Parquette and Rep. Malcolm Kenyatta will be hosting a forum on health and environment. Go to northstarconvention.com to register for the free convention.
Want the latest in Word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. The shop tab on wordradio.com. Show the world that you're all about black. Talk Media.
The 2020 census is a snapshot of the American population. Count as Caribbean and fill out the census by mail, by phone, and online at 2020census.gov. No immigration or citizenship questions. Made possible by Caribbean community in Philadelphia and Philly Counts.
Join WAR, Philadelphia's Rape Crisis Center, on Saturday, September 26 for a virtual walk to end sexual violence. Any location, no set distance. With the pain of so many victims and survivors silenced or ignored, make the invisible visible by showing you care. To learn more about WAR or the virtual walk, visit the official website, www.woar.org.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at ForWord. Word TV. Black Talk Media.
And we're back, Tony.
Welcome back to more Labor's Live, and thanks again to Farida Boyer. She is awesome when she comes on. Hello, Commissioner, are you there?
I'm here.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Doing good. Now I heard from you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate your patience. Thank you so much for holding on.
We're fortunate to be able to catch you. You're in demand now.
Well, I mean, you're all over. You and your, your office. You guys are on the move.
Yeah, yes, we are. Thank God.
So I just want to go over a little bit from last week. You stated that the drop boxes were approved. 15 to 17 of them will be located within the Philadelphia area, right?
That's correct.
And that the extension with the ballot mail-in is the date is November the 6th. By 5 p.m. you have to receive it. However, it has to be postmarked November the 3rd to count.
That's correct.
And also, it has to be placed in the secret ballot envelope in addition to the outside envelope, right?
Well, yeah, let me just say, if there's anything that I want to get across this phone call, is secrecy envelope, secrecy envelope, secrecy envelope. Wow. Make sure that you put that ballot in the secrecy envelope. If that ballot is not in the secrecy envelope, we will not be able to count that vote. If you want to do more research on it, it's the naked ballot. That's another name for it. Mm-hmm. That ballot has to go in that secrecy envelope, or we will not be able to count your ballot. It's very important.
Hey, Omar, did the office ever think about just doing a quick 20-second video of that where you show yourself with the ballot, you put it in the secrecy envelope, and then the envelope just to show people so they can kind of have a visual to see, what you're actually, referring to. Because, I mean, it's just, information like that. Once you put it out there on social media, we can pass it on, and then everybody can see how important it is to have it in that envelope.
Sure. I mean, I believe the mayor's office did like a manual on the video.
Okay.
For the video too. But we'll do another video.
Send it to us so we can start, passing it on and passing it around so people can really understand and see the importance of why. Because your vote, you want it to count, right?
That's correct. You want them to count. And then also, so I just wanted to go over on Tuesday, the satellite locations will be opening up. So we're going to open up 7 on the 29th, and then we're going to roll out the other 2.
Satellite, you said?
Yeah, right. Those early voting centers are going to be open.
Okay.
Open up on Tuesday. God willing, everything work out right. I'll just tell y'all guys the locations of the 7 locations real quick.
Okay, please.
Okay, so we have City Hall, room 140, 1400 JFK Boulevard, 19107. We have George Washington High School, 10175 Boston Avenue, 19116. We have the Leah Corner Center, 1776 North Broad Street, 19121. We have Roxborough High School, 6498 Ridge Avenue, 19128. We have Titleton Middle School, 6601 Elmwood Avenue, 19142. We have Julio D. Burgess Elementary School, 401 West Lehigh Avenue, 19133. Overbrook Elementary, 2032 North 62nd Street. And these satellite locations, you can walk in, you can request your ballot, and you can ask for a replacement ballot. You can drop off your completed ballot at the satellite locations as well. The hours will be 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Repeat those times. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. So 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
And then on 9:30 to 4:30 on the weekends. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And that's early voting, right? Centers.
It's early voting centers. You can walk in. You can request your ballot. We'll print the ballot out. You can vote right there. If you're not registered, you can just bring someone in. They can get registered. It might take them about 30 or so minutes for it to get updated in the system. Then once they get updated, they can then print out a ballot and they can vote right there.
So 1500 JFK, what building is that? That's just 1500 JFK. When you walk in, is it the...
Well, that's City Hall's address.
Oh, okay.
That's City Hall address, 1400 JFK. So if they're going to walk in, they're going to walk in through the south entrance. They're going to walk in through the south gate, and then they can walk right up.
Oh, okay. I'll put that in. Okay, I got you.
So Omar,
and that's room 140. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying City Hall room 140, right?
Right. So it's the south gate. It's on the same side where Octavius Cottle statue was there. So they're going to take that gate. They're going to open that gate up. All other gates will be closed. You're able to walk in and then walk directly to 140 to do your voting.
So Omar, the drop boxes. What is the status of that?
Well, we ordered the boxes. We're working out the logistics now. Where they're going to be at and all that, et cetera. Because you got to get to the right location. They got to be under surveillance. They got to be secure when you put them down. So we're working out the locations and logistics now.
And the other thing, the postmark versus the receipt of the ballots. How has that been resolved?
Okay, so if we receive your ballot by mail, as long as we receive it before November the 6th, November the 6th is the deadline, 5 p.m., then, then we can accept it as long as it has a postmark by November the 3rd. Mm-hmm. If the postmark isn't legible, we'll just assume that, that it was mailed by November 3rd and we'll be able to count.
Okay, and you're still looking for volunteers for polling, to work the polls?
Yes. We're looking for poll workers, and yes, we are paying $250 with the training. Mm-hmm. People can go to pollworker.philadelphiavotes.com to sign up. Again, we're looking for younger people. We want to, call on the millennials to stand up for democracy. If they don't have internet access, they can call 215-685-4811.
And so where are you going to be in your office this weekend? Because you guys are around about every weekend, every day, almost every other day. So where are you guys going to be this weekend?
It's amazing. We got, okay, I'll give you the schedule. That's what I'm looking at right now, but that's what the add to it. I got a 7:30 in the morning interview with Cody. Then we're doing a video documentary out in Southwest. And meeting up with Councilman Jones, West Philly, and Overbrook. Then we got about 6 events up in the Northwest that we're doing. And it's all, outreach, voter registration and stuff. And then we got to come back down to West Philadelphia to end the rest of our day. So it's like 7 events that we're doing. We move forward and we're providing support for them. And, so we drop off vote by mail applications, voter registration forms. We answer constituent, questions at these events. That is really rough, so pray for us.
So, Omar, are you coordinating with other commissioners around the state to try to avoid claims of voter fraud or mail-in ballot fraud?
So we've been working with different attorneys, and I was working with so we have a plan in place where we're going to work with the Attorney General's office, the district attorney's office, the barristers, and, a significant amount of numbers of attorneys from this area. And we're going to form a task force, for election security.
Because I'm certain you've heard that there was discussion about the Republicans in the state legislature trying to discredit the mail-in ballots so that they can appoint their own electors.
Yeah, they found a lot of stuff. That's not my wheelhouse. I just got to work with what I got in front of me. There's a lot of stuff going on. They talking. They doing a lot of talking. But we'll see. What end up happening.
Can you repeat that number again when you talk about volunteer polling? Someone just texted and asked for the number again, the 685 number.
Okay, 215-685-4811. And I'll get my personal number too, my office number. It's 215-686-3462, 215-686-3462.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. We're just hit the last minute of the show. But like I said, we appreciate you. You're coming on, the last 20 minutes of our Labor's Live show to make sure people are getting the vote, getting the information, having a clear understanding of what they need to do to make their vote count. Once they cast it, whether it's mail-in ballot or whether you're going to the polls. Commissioner Omar Sabir and his great team, Lisa Daly over there. Please forgive me. What's the other gentleman's name, please?
We got Al Schmidt.
Al Schmidt. Thank you. You guys are just on the move. You're in the neighborhoods. You know what we need, and we appreciate you. We're going to keep our fingers crossed and make sure this goes smoothly November 3rd, so that way we can have Biden and we can have his team and we can keep it moving, right?
Well, listen, Tony, people can vote on Tuesday. You don't got to wait till November 3rd. Tuesday, start voting.
At those places that he mentioned, Tony.
So Tuesday. Okay, that's right. That's right, Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, go. Tuesday. Y'all hear that? Tuesday. I'm going to put it on my Facebook and my Instagram. I'm going to put it on my Facebook and my Instagram.
September 29th. That's the day. Again, you got City Hall, Northwest Hialeah Core Center, Rockville High School, Ida Middle School. We have the Gardens Elementary School. We got Overlook Elementary School.
That's right.
September 29th. You know, come on out.
It starts October 29th.
No, September 29th.
Oh, September. You're going in and out. That's why. September 29th.
It's all right. Tuesday. That's right. And
Tuesday. You can start early voting.
Voting in Pennsylvania. First time in the history of the state.
Listen, I can't wait to post that information. Yes. Okay, we got to go because they're going to get on me in next show. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Omar Sabir. We appreciate you,
Talk to you in the morning,
Cody.
Omar.
Yes.
Tony, take care.
I know, Cody, Troy, thanks for everything. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for listening.